Damn. Alright, you better lock in. Get out of chat. So, yeah, one of the players there. Holy Blade. Oh, you're not playing? What the hell, man? We riot. But game 1 is here of Royalty Series. Our first cast of 3v3, as this is week 1. So welcome in, and if you're curious of the ranks, it's NA Contender, which is C1-C2 on the time of registration. And we have Spartan Guardians in blue, Spartan Ares in orange. And there's the first goal from Turtle. Striking home, getting a goal for Spartan Guardians. And how do we want to cast this? Are we gonna spot every mistake? Well, we gotta do a mix, like some serious, and of course some calling out. As was that a double, triple commit? Oh my god, that's so loud. We might have to turn that off. I'm sorry, but that is painfully loud. It has to be adjusted. We had to re-download Rocket League and Bacchus mod, so that is the pain. He's hacking. But right now, Ares still looking for a goal. Turtle trying to blast it down. And we got a rule 1 already. This is so chalked. Can't even have a crossbar chalk, but I'll tell you it's chalked. At least until we lower it. That's a problem for another time. But cruelty, Jesus. Apologies if you ever watch this VOD, but that's a tough word to just spit out for the first time. But that's his first goal of the league, being on the team, and Spartan Guardians coming out hot. Looking good so far as Fire NATO trying to stay behind it. Cruelty testing the defense. And Flash trying to kick it out, but good rotation from Guardians. And Fire NATO almost keeps it in front of net. Spartan Ares able to narrowly get it out. And some demos coming through. Does help as Chaotic finds the net, and despite what we've seen, yeah, you saw that right. A demo bumped into the net. He'll take the help. But Rocket League did not approve as we have a kickoff goal. So many emotions going back and forth. It was like, wow, only a 1 goal difference. And we're back to 2. But it's halftime. Still plenty of time to be played. Ares down by 2. And they need to ramp things up. Flash denied. And Tony keeping the pressure. Fire now can't get that one, but Turtle, calm and collected, does stay behind the ball. I don't think the mods look at the VODs. They do, like if they need to. But I'm just saying, if one of our players looks back and sees or listens to me butcher a name, that's what I was saying. I'm not saying look it back for any problems. I don't expect any problems because obviously I manage both these teams. Shoot. Did they act up? I could just remove the whole roster. But 1:30 left to go. Spartan Ares down by 2. And trying to get something going. And you gotta give credit. Well, those are tactical whiffs. You gotta give credit to Spartan Guardians. They've had a pretty good command of this game. We have to see the shot pressure from the results. Because at least so far, it looks or feels like Spartan Guardians clearly in the lead in that front. I approve of Flash's movement. But good clear from Turtle. And denied from Flash. Chaotic trying to line it up, but just there in time. Fire Nado blocks it. I like his recoveries. Nice, nice. Like a student of the game, studying, checking out the players. I respect it. Chaotic. Can't get anything going there. And 20 seconds left. And Fire Nado, I thought he might have missed that, but bar in to capitalize. And so Spartan Guardians gonna take game 1 of this org on org crime of our own org. There's really no other orgs. I'm chilling. Might be taking notes though. Hey, it's always approved. I'm happy to have you here. The more, the merrier. And Turtle going up, but 2 going up. But that is game 1. Is this match almost over? No, it's game 1 over, but we're not going to forget. We're changing the map as we're professional. Although we almost put it on day, but that's game 1. Let's see what Ares have in store. Honestly surprised. If you see the shots, 3 for every single player. That is crazy. I did not anticipate that. So, on that front, pretty even. So what happened? Better defense from Guardians? Better shot potential? Or looks? But game 2, we love Forbidden Temple, what it represents. And it's for the losing team of game 1 to bounce back, see what they're made of, and we are going to have eyes definitely focused on Ares to see how they respond. And Flash had no boost, somehow makes the save, and what an incredible effort. Looked dead to rights. But Turtle a little bit awkward, though. He does like to control. We've seen that. And it does help, especially on defense. But kicked out to the mid. Chaotic. Showing some skills. 2 up. Can there be a shot going in? And what a shot indeed from Tony. And you could see on the back line, that bump almost falls through. I thought it might come back to bite him, because 2 went for that challenge, so you only had 1 left, but didn't matter. Tony showing the skills, and Ares up by 1 and strike first, and especially at this rank, scoring first, so pivotal. But Fire Nado has the right angle as player up on back wall. He shoots it down, and that's tough to come down to save. And we are tied up. Wish I could have played the Tony versus Tony match. Yeah, too bad. There could have been yet another storyline. Who's the better Tony? Because I've already, in the Discord when talking, I was like, no, the other Tony. But Flash! Skills in the air and shows it. And that's a big goal to regain the lead. Just beat Fire NATO as the last. So Spartan Aries regain the lead on that. And a pretty big game. They're down by 1. Certainly, if they lose this, they're down on match point. Have to reverse sweep. That's the only option. But that's a little too early to talk like that, especially with them in the lead. But Cruelty takes to the air, has another one. It almost went through. Clip almost happened. Chaotic 50 into the midfield. Flash gives it back to him. A little give and go action. Tony cuts the gap, but no one there. And now push back. Chaotic has to take his time, but being pressured. And we're approaching halftime, a 1-goal difference. And almost finding the gap that's Chaotic. But a little bit of a miscue. Flash has to be careful. That's going to bounce in. And Fire NATO credited with the goal. And I thought it might be a problem. You're facing your net and you're trying to challenge. The ball is likely to go toward your net. So that is a tough one, which I tell a lot of people, be careful. Sometimes it's better to leave it. Because not only does your teammate have to read the ball, your opponent, but now has to read you as well. But some demos coming out. 2 minutes, 2-2. Next one could possibly win this one. It's been that kind of game. But 2 players converge. Flash won't have a good touch on this, and Cruelty slots it. And that's a tough spot when you're heading back. Where can you put it? You got to put it to the corner. Instead, left out. Shot opportunity and striking home. And Guardians have had to fight, but somehow have gained the lead. And Flash does equalize, does make up for some things, and we are tied right back. And back and forth in this one. You got me, because next goal, in fact, did not win. Shoot, at this point, we might have 2 more goals from both sides. But there's one denied. Chaotic. Just gonna try and stay behind it, but Fire NATO gung-ho on challenging, and Chaotic has to turn, gets bumped, and Turtle just waiting for the opportunity, trying to feed it mid, but can't get a touch. Does get a touch landing though, and all hell is breaking loose. Everybody's hitting it awkwardly, but Fire NATO denied on the clear, and Tony almost finds that one to keep pressure. Good clear from Chaotic as Guardians were hunting. And awkward play in front of net. Fire NATO is there. And big demo, so plenty of time. And the passing plays trying to form. Do we have OT for game 2? Oh my goodness, that's going in. Sorry. It's not looking like it. But Chaotic does beat out narrowly, and that's a long ball. And Spartan Aries might just take game 2. And that would be tough for Guardians. Back and forth battle. This one kind of slipped away, but both were in contention. And Spartan Aries tying up the series, a big win for them. And so we are going to DFH Stadium. Game number 3. Take a sip real quick. If you have Bacchus mod, then you download something called Barrel, B-A-R-L. It works in tandem with Bacchus mod. So as long as you have Bacchus mod running, it should work as well. But it's like another app, and you could input logos and type stuff. So it runs with Rocket League and Bacchus mod to make it easy. So hopefully in the future it still works. We'll see what Rocket League does. Hopefully in private matches, still good to go. I know that's a debate, but yeah, it's a nice thing to have for sure on the production side of things. Yeah, correct. You spelled it right. I wonder if Royalty has a channel for it, because they did like sponsor it, but I mean, it's even still, it shouldn't be that hard to find, as long as you type that in. But they do have a Discord as well, the whole Barrel, and like gives you a tutorial how to do it as well. So even if you can't find it there, you could just search it up. But Game 3 is here. This is a breaking point. Whoever wins this goes to match point. And you got me because it's been pretty close. A lot of back and forth play. Tony can't take a touch on that one. And Cruelty. Another touch, but only defenders. Does sneak that boost, and Turtle rattling around. He did blast that one. And two converge. They want it. They smell blood. But Aries holding on. And Fire Nado quick. Is that in? It is. And Fire Nado, a little bit of a wild card. Does go quick on that one. Beating out Flash and strike first. And I mean, last game wasn't too indicative of whoever scores first, but if you're looking at trends, Aries did score first and they did win. And game 1, Guardians struck first and they won. But Guardians, off the kickoff, do gain a 2-goal lead, and it's almost representative of game 1 and very representative because Guardians did falter a goal. Yeah, we're 2-1. It just took a while for things to form, but game 3, different story. Things are going quick, and 2-1. But Cruelty, a little bit too much power, and that would have been quite the dagger. Instead, Chaotic does give that one up, and Guardians back on defense. And Fire Nado, what a save, but not gonna matter. Tony right there to continue the pressure, and we are tied up. And honestly, if we're not looking Spartan versus Spartan, it's a great series. It's pretty good. It's tied 2-2. It's tied in the series. Chaotic blasted too much on the top of Fire Nado's car. And Spartan Aries rolling with some momentum. Down by 2 since then, scoring 3 straight. They are definitely not out and here to play as well. And perhaps trying to add another. But Turtle trying to get his team back on the board. It's halftime. They need a goal, and Turtle is there. They said Turtle was poised. And there, see that strike home and tied up. And more action back and forth. Flash does get a long clear. And Tony, but not enough cruelty there. Just in time and awkward. No, does that go in? Oh, brother, who is credited? Who is credited on that one? Bang. And there's Flash again. We talked about it. Flash tending to face his own net, and Chaotic will tell you all about that. When you're facing your own net, you're more than likely gonna own goals some way, somehow. And Flash has a lot to learn on that. But series of unfortunate events. As there's another one, and Turtle, slow roll, but has the time and puts it in, and that is a rough spot. But Guardians will definitely take it, and the momentum has shifted drastically. Two-goal lead for Guardians, who might just win this one and go up to series point. But big 50 downfield. Tony tracking it down. That's going to hit the sidewall. Chaotic almost puts it through, but they're not out of the woods yet. And the pressure of the game hitting as we see some whiffs. And Flash. A few touches here and there. Needs Chaotic, who was there but deleted. And Fire NATO. Grabbing the boost, blasting it. And Cruelty can't reach that one. And Turtle to the air. 50. Fire NATO trying to read that one, but Tony is there. And a lot of time ticking away. A good shot on target to test the defense. With 20 seconds left, Guardians in good command, but Flash does get a goal, and it is enough to make things interesting. 18 seconds. Kickoff. Kickoff goal, possibly. What do they have in store? What are they going to try? But now Turtle going to stay behind this one. Flash. They're on the challenge. Chaotic there. Fire NATO has to get a touch. It's going to pop high. And Turtle bringing it further. And they have a good spot to kill this one. A tough, long road to go for Ares. And Turtle shuts it down. And Guardians win a hard-fought game number 3. And so we got to go all the way to Utopia. This might take a bit. Alright, Utopia Coliseum, dusk. Everyone's ready. So, let's jump to the next one. But we're here, game 4. Spartan Ares can't afford any more losses. They're trying to bring a game 5. Guardians, they have some good momentum on their side. Do they continue and put this game away? Or the series away? Series and game. You know, same thing, really. Chaotic. Trying to boom it downfield. Turtle there. Can't get the 50, but Cruelty filling in. And blast midfield. Flash. Can't do much with that. Tony, a nice initial touch. But Guardians comfortable on defense. And have good rotation to follow. Usually have someone to follow right after one of their players went for the challenge. Midfield, and Chaotic almost slots it. Guardians were a little bit awkward. But more pressure coming out. And a chip shot. And they're knocking on the door, but can't get a solid look. We're still tied. Scoreless. Chaotic flick. Fire NATO there. And Tony getting some bumps. That'll alter that defense. Are they pushed out too much? There's a risk reward. You go for the bumps, but are you left with a counter? Cruelty. Trying to regain possession. Turtle almost has that one. Fire NATO off the back wall. Waiting for the touch. And feeding it mid. Cruelty has another, and what a play. And much needed, because goals are not easy to come by right now. One goal lead for Guardians. Aries have to tie this up. Turtle with the big 50 flash is there. And trying to get it past Cruelty. Cannot do so. And a little bump action. It's Cruelty trying to turn on it, but won't be able to. Flash off to the side. And Turtle by one, but got Chaotic there. And Tony going with a wide angle. And trying to keep the pressure. But haven't been much bumps. Much demos. You can see they're happy in net, but Tony has too much of a good shot. And credit to Tony on that one. Blasting it high up. They can't get it. It's tied up. 1-1. But the kickoff, as that has plagued Aries. They sometimes falter, and then a kickoff ensues, and all the momentum they just gained dissolved. But saved off on that one. Blasting it. Chaotic. Can do some damage there. Awkward. No one on back wall, but Cruelty. Quick on the draw. And a slight touch in front of net. Danger for Tony. Does get one touch. Chaotic trying to follow. And Flash. Just going to have to try to clear this one. Awkward touch from Fire NATO. You could see both these teams battling back and forth. They are locked in. They know how big this next goal is. Fire NATO taking control. Can feed it mid. And Cruelty is there. Slight angle enough to score. And just gets that. And what a play for Guardians. And regain the lead by one. Now, under a minute to go. What does Spartan Aries have in store? And demo from Chaotic. Now they gotta gain possession. Flash, initial touch. Trying to feed it mid, but slight touch from Fire NATO. Chaotic beating out. Tony using everything he's got in front of net. Cruelty Risky. A demo there. And Chaotic makes one miss. Over 2, and what a save from Turtle there just in time. It was looking like it'd be tied up. 1 second left, and that is gonna do it. Guardians win 3-1, and give credit to Guardians pulling out the victory. I would like to thank both teams for enduring this brutal format of week 1. Of course, I had to see this whole misery in action. It had to be me. We had to endure it. But the good news is, right? You guys can't play each other again. So we got that out of the way. Week 1. Done. Damn. If you voted Guardians, you got some points coming your way. How many points? Oh my goodness. Wow, imagine voting against your Imagine voting against Spartan. That's crazy. Oh, wait. They did it for a Tony. Which Tony? Nobody knows.